Okay, so I haven't talked about any shows in a minute, but today I want to take some time and talk about an older K drama. I think this is from like maybe 2014, 2015 time frame. I can't remember. I will write the date on the screen for correction, okay? So the name of this show or this K drama is called 14 Days God's Gift. Okay. And this is essentially, it shows the present time when a mother, drops her child off to, the mother takes her daughter with her to work. The daughter ends up going missing, and the mom works at like a broadcasting company, by the way. I just want to put that out there. And then there's essentially like a scene where it shows up on the screen, and even like the weather forecaster, like the news reporter, everyone's just staring, and it's the little girl's voice saying "mom," right? And she sounds scared. So now the mom is panicking. She's like, wait, that's my daughter. So she runs out to the middle of the screen, and the camera pans in on her, which, wait, first of all, that was like really fucked up. Like, why would y'all pan in on her, right? And it's just her saying, that's my daughter, that's my daughter. And she's running out of the building trying to find her kid. Nothing. So not even, I don't know how many days go by, and like pretty much the daughter's body washes up in the water, and the mom is so saddened by this. She goes into like severe depression, and she just rethinks of everything, leading up to that point, and she's just traumatized. Her husband ends up leaving her at this point, and she's just like, you know what, I have nothing else to live for. I mean, she neglected her husband at this point because her only child is gone. What ends up happening is she is on a pier or at like, some like water area, and she jumps in to unalive herself. And in the process of her prepping herself, taking her shoes off, all of that, to jump in on the actual pier or the dock, whatever, there's a man, and he's essentially tied by these, organized crime people. And they tie a cinder block to him, and they throw him into the water. And the whole time he's yelling to this woman who's in severe depression, hey, call for help, call for help. She turns her head, looks at him, and she just ignores him. And then they shove him in, and she also jumps in. So what ends up happening is she's kind of saying to herself as she's like diving into this water, I'll finally be with my daughter again, right? And leading up to this, right, how the whole everything, the episode started, it tells this story about a mother, and this is a child story, by the way. So it's like a story that moms tell to their kids, and it's pretty much like the mom is going through everything to pretty much be with her kid. Like, she goes through everything. She gets to like a river, she takes her eyes out, throws it in. Like, she's doing everything that she can to get her child. And when you really think about it, that story evidently foreshadows what this woman is going through, essentially in terms of like hurdles to get her child back. So let's go back into this present time, right? So after she jumps in, and she's like, saying that, oh, she'll finally get to be with her daughter again. The whole time she's thinking, was her daughter like hurting? Her daughter was probably crying out for her, everything, and then some, right? As the show unfolds, so many crazy things are discovered. One, what ends up happening is she some way, somehow is granted the ability to go back in time 2 weeks before her daughter is, and in these 2 weeks, she's being more like a helicopter mom, because she just doesn't know what's going to happen. She's like prying in her daughter's personal space now. She's prying in her daughter's like journals. She's looking at everything, right? Everything. So amongst this, when she travels into the past, she kind of runs to the guy because he's the only other person that has these memories of what's going to happen in 2 weeks, right? So the two of them are tied, but they don't know how they're tied. They only know that the two of them were transported back in time 2 weeks before he dies, and her daughter, all that stuff with her daughter, and then her getting rid of herself, right? She ends up finding out that, things about her husband, how her husband is essentially linked to her daughter. Like the girl who is technically her hubei at the broadcasting company, how one of the like group, like the boy bands, and the main leader, his name is Nomenu, but in the show I don't remember what his name was. How he plays a part in that. How the guy who was pushed in with the cinder block, how his older brother, severely mentally challenged brother, is also tied to this. So that goes back in time, and you find out that he has this deep resentment to his brother because he believes that his brother is the reason why the love of his life was killed, because he believes his brother had killed the love of his life, right? I'm really trying to tell you guys this to pique your interest so that you guys aren't like bored, or not bored, but that so you guys aren't like, well, you told me the whole story, why would I go watch it? I'm telling you like bits and pieces, like surface level. Like a whole serial killer is found out. The whole show is crazy from start to finish. Start to finish. And if you haven't already seen it, I highly recommend that you go and check it out. The name of the show is God's Gift 14 Days. Okay, so go check it out, then come back, leave me a comment, and let me know what you thought about it. And if you aren't already, definitely click the follow button, like this video, share this video to someone who, loves K-dramas, okay?